This video will explain what to do with your letter of accommodations once you receive it by email from our office. You now know that the Letter of Accommodations, or LOA, explains to your professor the accommodations for which you have been approved. Your first step after receiving your LOA is to communicate with your professor, in person or by email, to determine how your accommodations will be managed. You can do this by emailing the LOA to your professor or by meeting your professor during his or her office hours. Here is a sample template of an email you could send to your professor. The purpose of having a discussion or correspondence is so both you and the professor have a clear understanding of how accommodations will be managed for the course. Here are two examples of the discussion topics. A professor may prefer to have you take exams in his or her classroom or other acceptable space with the additional time you should receive. Confirm with the professor if tests will be proctored by the instructor or by ODS. Or perhaps you are approved for an FM system. You will need to discuss using the microphone with the professor. Most professors are familiar with providing students with accommodations, and most accommodations require only a brief discussion. If your professor wants clarification on an accommodation, you can direct him or her to speak with your coordinator. To summarize, managing your accommodations involves a three-way dialogue between you, your professor, and our office. The LOA explains the accommodations you are entitled to, and the three of us will work on how to implement them. If you have any questions, please contact your coordinator or our office.